In this project, we're going to be creating a crypto alerter. So what does a crypto alerter do? Well, we're going to specify which cryptocurrencies we want to keep track of, and we're also going to specify the bottom and the top price that we want to keep track of. So in case Bitcoin decides to go above 20,000 or falls under 10 euros for whatever reason, we're going to receive an alert. And thanks to that alert, you're going to be able to execute certain functionality. But if we run this script right now, you'll see that we're following Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. And with that, we have the current prices of each one of them. So since Bitcoin is over 24,000 and we specified a top of 20K, it's going to trigger the trigger. And the same thing goes for Ethereum. It's above 1700, which means we get the trigger. As soon as we change the top range for our alert to, let's say, 1900, you'll notice that Ethereum will no longer be triggered. And we can also change the bottom to under 1800 and the trigger will come back because we triggered either a bottom price or a top price. And both of those are going to execute functionality. So to get started, create a new empty project, and inside your project folder, we are going to create another file called crypto data, because we're going to try to organize this project a bit better. Then anywhere in your project, open up the terminal and type in pip install requests, because we need to make a request to an API to get the live cryptocurrency data back. Next, let's import requests, and we're also going to import from data classes the data class. And finally, we will import final. Now, the first thing I want to include is a base URL of type final of type string. And this is going to be a constant, of course. And the constant I will include will be this URL, a URL that takes us to an API from CoinGecko. And this API is going to allow us to make free requests to CoinData. It's going to look like this when we actually call it, except here I did use an extra argument called versus currency, which is euro, and that is required for that to work. You can also put USD or a different currency, but it's going to return to us a lot of cryptocurrencies based on their market size. Anyway, we're going to be using this URL, and you can find that in the resource section of this lecture. With that being done, we can create a data class, so at data class, and inside the data class, we want to create something called a coin, and this is going to represent our cryptocurrency. And it's going to have a lot of attributes, such as the name of type string, the symbol of type string, the current price of type float, the high price of 24 hours of type float, the low price of 24 hours, and that's also of type float. Then we also have the price change in 24 hours, of course, of type float, and finally price change percentage of 24 hours. And we will also change that to change. And that will conclude our coin class. For this project, we're really only going to be using these three, but I also wanted to show you that you can use these if you want to make a much more complex cryptocurrency alerter. And we will also include a string method, so def string, and that's going to return the formatted string of self or self.name with self.symbol, and that's going to be for euros, and the self.current price, and that's going to be formatted with the colon and the comma. You can add your own currency here. I'm going to show you later where you add your own currency so you can display it in a currency you understand. But under this data class, we're going to create one function that retrieves the coin data. And this one's going to be called getCoins, which of course returns to us a list of coin. Next, we're going to want to define a payload of type dictionary. These are the queries we want to put into the URL. So one that we want to define, for example, is going to be the versus currency. So it's going to be Bitcoin to euro. Otherwise, you can enter your own country currency. If that doesn't exist, unfortunately, you're going to have to create your own converter, which will convert from euro or from USD to your current currency. Next, we have to pick the order of how we want to get the data back from the API, and I'm going to get it in market cap descending. So that is the payload that we're going to put into our API request. Then we have the data, which is equal to requests.get, and we want to insert the base URL, and the parameters are going to be equal to the payload. Then the JSON of type dictionary is going to equal data.json. Next, we're going to get the data from the JSON. So for example, we're going to we're going to create a coin list, and it's going to be of list of type coin, which will equal an empty list. Then for item in JSON, we're going to create a new coin, and this new coin is going to be called current coin, and that's going to be of type coin, which will equal a coin. And all that's left for us to do inside here is to fill out the information from our data class. So for example, the name is going to be equal to item.get, and we want to get the name. Then we want to do the same thing for the symbol. So symbol is going to be item.get, and we want to get the symbol. And then you're going to want to do it for the current price, the high 24, the low 24, the price change 24, and the price change percentage for 24 hours. I decided to name the fields of the data class the same as the fields you'll find in the API. And if we make our way over to the API, you'll see that if we make a request, we're going to have these fields such as high underscore 24, low underscore 24. We also have the current price, and all the fields that I included here exist in the API. You can add more if you want. If you want to have, let's say, the date or something else, you can include that in your data class up here, and you can get it and include it inside your coin. But once you get a coin and you append it to your coin list, you're going to want to return that coin, or return the coins list. So for example, return coins list. Or I actually did not append the current coin, so coin list.append current coin. Then we can create our if name is equal to main check, and we can do a test with our getCoins function. So here we can say that coins are equal to getCoins, and then we can create a for loop. So for coin in coins, print coin. And just like that, we can test it by tapping on run. And if we open up our terminal or our console, you'll see that we have all the cryptocurrencies with market cap descending, starting with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD coin, and so on. It shows us the name, the currency symbol, and the current price in euros. And there are a lot of them. But now that we can actually retrieve the coins, we can move on to our main script, which actually deals with creating the alert. So inside here, we're going to import from crypto data, getCoins, and the coin. And that's all we're going to use, because that's actually all we have from crypto data to use. But with that, we can create the function called alert, which is going to take a symbol of type string, a bottom price of type float, a top price of type float, and a coins list of type list of coin. Inside here, we're going to check for coin in coins list if the coin.symbol is equal to the symbol we specified. Then we're going to use that for our alert. If the coin.current price is more than the top price, or if the coin.current price is less than the bottom price, then we're going to trigger some sort of action. So for this example, we're going to trigger that the coin got triggered. So this section here of the if block is exactly where you would want to set up your own functionality. And I'm not going to be teaching you how to trade cryptocurrency using Python in this video, but this is one way to actually set it up. Then you're going to have to use a different API or a different method to actually execute the conversion or the trade. Else, if it was not triggered, we're just going to print the coin as it is without this triggered block. And just like that, we can create another if name is equal to main check and type in coins of type list of coin is going to equal getCoins. Then let's create an alert. We can say an alert of Bitcoin, and the bottom is going to be 20K, while the top is going to be 28K. And the coins list is going to equal the coins. And just like that, we can actually run this script, and you'll see that Bitcoin is going to pop up in the console. But it hasn't triggered anything, so it's not going to say triggered. But as soon as we change that to 24K, we're going to get triggered back. And we're going to create the same thing for Ethereum and Ripple. So Ethereum and Ripple is XRP. So we have these three now, and Ripple is extremely weak. So I'm going to copy and paste my previous values for that. And for Ethereum, I'm going to put 1800 followed by 1900. So those are now the values I have for these currencies. And if we rerun the program, you'll see that both Ethereum and Bitcoin were triggered, but Ripple wasn't because it's supposed to be XRP. And once you have the correct name, it's going to also show that currency. And in general, you wouldn't run this script each time you wanted to create an alert. You would have a while true loop followed by some sort of delay, because you don't want to run this every single second, but you will want to run it, let's say, every 30 seconds. So you can say time.sleep 30 seconds. For this example, I'll type in 5 to simulate that time passes, so you can see this refreshing over and over. So if we run this, it's going to sleep for 5 seconds, then it's going to show you or display to you the current prices. And then in another 5 seconds, it's going to update it and display you the prices again. If I remember correctly, the CoinGecko API refreshes the values every 30 or 60 seconds. So it doesn't really make sense to refresh it every 5 seconds. I would leave it at 30 or 60, because right now we're just wasting resources. But just like that, we created a crypto alerter in Python.